Hey YouTube family, it's Sarah. I'm back. I promised I was going to make a video about my big news. So I actually said I was going to make that video right after the one I made on Sunday. And I did make a video, but I wasn't like super thrilled with the way it came out. And then I've had a few days to sort of reflect a little bit more. And today I actually get to really share my big news, which I just did on Facebook. So, and I don't think everyone's going to feel like it's super big news, but it is for me, and I'm going to share a little bit about why. So my big news is I got a promotion at work. So I have been working for a company called Grodan for almost 2.5 years in sales support / customer service. I hesitate calling it customer service because we don't actually do a lot of customer service stuff. But Grodan is a horticulture company. We make stone wool or rock wool substrates for greenhouse growers. It's all very technical, but what I will say is that our customers are basically vegetable growers, so greenhouse vegetable growers across North America. And we also do have another side to our business where we deal with hydroponic shops and medical marijuana growers. That is not my part of the business, just so you guys know. So no trying to hit me up for free samples, just FYI. So yeah, I have been promoted to the commercial marketing specialist for North America, which basically means I'll be working with our sales force, supporting them and reaching their greenhouse vegetable growing customers in Canada, the US, and in Mexico. So I am super excited to be working in marketing again, but it's also a little bit overwhelming, and I have some mixed feelings about it, and that was the stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. So really quickly, if possible, just to give you guys an idea of where I came from career-wise. I went to university to get my degree, my Bachelor of Commerce, and my major was marketing, my minor was communications. And I was also always interested in design. I was super interested in advertising. Even as a kid, but the problem was that the advertising business is not well suited to my personality. Let's put it that way. It's super, super stressful, and I really didn't like it. So I kind of had to change my mind while I was in school about what I wanted to do, and so I had the thought that after I graduated, I would go to design school and take graphic design, thinking that that would be a great combo of having that marketing degree and graphic design experience. So I did that. A couple years after I graduated. So right out of school, I started working for a software and hardware IT reseller, basically. I worked in inside sales, and then I worked in their marketing department, first as basically a partner marketing coordinator, and then I created the role of e-marketing coordinator, which at the time no one in the company was doing. So I got to kind of write my own ticket there, which was pretty cool because I was only 23 or 24 at the time. But you know, it was one of those tech companies where everyone was young and they were happy to give you a chance. So that was a really great experience. After that, my husband at the time, Will, and I went to Australia for a year. So that kind of sidetracked things. And then as soon as we got home, I got pregnant. And I had decided that I really wanted to stay home with our kids until they went to school. And so that meant that I had to find something to do with my time, because I'm not the kind of person who can just sit around and do nothing. So I started a design business and very quickly got into doing custom invitations for weddings, bar mitzvahs, corporate events. My business did extremely well. You know, I was in all the major wedding publications. It's very well respected in the industry. But after all that time, I was kind of getting burnt out. Working with brides is difficult, and because of my life situation, being separated, and then having a new partner who was American and could not legally work necessarily here in Canada, and needing to provide, you know, for my family, I needed a job that had a more secure, stable income, because although my business was doing very well, it was also very seasonal, and I didn't have the resources to deal with that up and down. So that's where I came from, and I worked at Starbucks for a few months just until I found a full-time job, and then I found my job at Grodan. And originally I just decided, you know, I would maybe work for someone else for a year. But I actually really ended up liking working at the company, and now I have 2 friends who work with me as well. Unfortunately, they'll be staying in sales support, but we're still going to be in the same office, so it's all good. So that's sort of my career trajectory, and I really felt like because of having kids and deciding to stay home with them, that I had basically chosen my children over my career, in a sense. Because running my own business, from a design point of view, it's very difficult to get design work corporately when you do weddings. It's just not something that's very respected in the industry, unfortunately. So I wasn't necessarily going to get work as a designer, and it's difficult in general, or at least not in a different industry. And then from a marketing point of view, I didn't have that much marketing experience. And so I figured, you know, okay, even though I'm marketing every day, I'm owning my own business, I'm the one making all the decisions and the marketing plans and all that, I figured I would probably never be able to get a marketing job somewhere because my skills wouldn't necessarily be recognized. So I really felt like I had given up having a certain type of career, I guess, when I decided to stay home with my kids, and I would go back and do it again in a heartbeat. But I had sort of, I don't know, I hadn't given up on it, but I had just sort of resigned myself to the fact that that might be the way things were. Outside of that, before I had weight loss surgery, you know, at 460, you'd be surprised. It's not that easy to get a job. People are very judgy. People still think that overweight people are fat and lazy. And I definitely think that there was multiple times that I felt like I wasn't, you know, called back for another interview or what have you. And I was overqualified for jobs, or I felt like things went really well and then nothing ever went anywhere. Add to that, marketing, very much like sales, is one of those things that's very image driven. And you'll find that a lot of people who work in marketing are attractive, young. That's the kind of people that companies want in their marketing department. So again, similar to sales. And I knew that that wasn't me. And that was another reason why I felt like, you know, that's probably never going to be something that I get to do. Now, I will admit that the horticulture industry is not super flashy, but our marketing manager totally fits the profile. She's, you know, very attractive, blonde, thin woman. I mean, she's in her 40s, but I mean, yeah. So she definitely fits into that like marketing ideal. And even now, I really feel like I don't. So I guess this is big news for me on a number of levels. One of them is just the fact that I was able to prove my skills and my worth in the company, and that they were willing to give me a chance when my resume shows I have very little actual marketing experience. The truth is that I actually have lots of marketing experience because I was a marketer every day of the 8 years that I own my own business. But from a corporate point of view, it's true that my marketing experience was limited. And so the fact that they gave me the opportunity to be in this role is really, it just shows me that I have been doing a good job and that I have been proving my worth at work. And I think everyone likes to feel that way. So that was something that really kind of got me right here. I haven't done a lot to be proud of the last little while. I know that sounds weird, but like, I haven't really been proud of the fact that I have stopped making YouTube videos. I'm not really proud of the fact that I'd regained. I mean, again, I'm not like freaking out about it, but I wouldn't say that I'm proud of it. I'm not ashamed either. I'm somewhere in between those two things. Clearly it's not a black and white thing, but this is something that I can really be proud of. And that's a big deal. But ultimately, it's a big deal because I didn't feel like I would ever have, oh my God, I'm getting all emotional. I didn't feel like I would ever have this opportunity because I was super morbidly obese, and super morbidly obese people do not work in the marketing department. They work in the departments where you don't deal with other businesses or customers. They work in call centers. I've seen so many situations in my own life and in other people's lives where they're passed over for certain roles or whatever it is. And it quite obviously has a lot to do with their appearance or their weight. But it's like the unspoken thing, like no one will talk about it. And I know I'm not the only person who's felt discriminated against at work, for sure. Now, certainly not at the job that I'm at now, because obviously when I started there, I'd already lost weight. Most people don't know that I had weight loss surgery. Not because I'm not open about it, but I don't necessarily announce it to everyone. So unless it comes up, they're not necessarily aware that it's even a thing that happened. So I don't know, I guess I'm a little bit uncomfortable for all the normal reasons. When you start a new position, you know, I want to be successful and I'm gonna have to work hard and it's gonna be uncomfortable for a while because I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm more excited than I am nervous about that. What does throw me off a little bit is the fact that I feel like the outsider. I feel like I'm going to be the girl that doesn't fit in. I feel like when I'm out with sales reps or the rest of the marketing department, which is 2 people now, basically my manager, and then we've just hired a new person as well. She'll be working with our retail market, so hydroponic shops and medical marijuana growers and that sort of thing. But she is like a little, I haven't met her yet, but I've totally stalked her LinkedIn profile. She's very young. She's probably in her mid to late 20s. She's blonde. She's like the typical small and cute, peppy girl, and that's not me. And so I wonder, her position was actually the one that I wanted, because I find that market a little more interesting because it's growing and there's a lot of cool stuff happening. But I felt like from the beginning I was kind of discouraged from going after that position, and then it did come up that it's likely that position will be moved to California within the next year or 2, and that's not something that I can do for a number of reasons. So that was fine, but I do feel like maybe they discouraged me because they didn't think I fit into the look of the kind of person that they wanted for that market, which is a lot more like hip, and yeah, most of the growers in those markets are young men. And you know what? I definitely think that that has something to do with it. And I don't even know if that makes me uncomfortable or not. That's the weird thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm at odds because I feel like I should be angry about that. But there's part of me that thinks, you know, would I make the same decision if it were me? If I was the marketing manager and I was hiring, wouldn't I do anything to hire someone I thought would get more interest in my product? I don't know. I feel very differently than I thought I would feel about it. So yeah, it's a little weird, but I feel like I'm not gonna fit in to this whole marketing sales thing, and I kind of feel like the fat girl again, and I feel like it's my fat filters, and I don't necessarily think that people at work would see it that way. But that's kind of how I'm seeing it right now. So I need to do some mental work to try and figure out how I'm gonna, I guess, get over that, and how I'm gonna project that strong, confident image to our customers and our sales reps, and how I'm gonna make myself fit in to the role. So I'll update you guys on that in upcoming videos too, but I will be back on Sunday with a video on my plan for July. I think you guys will be interested. I will see you then. Have a great week. Bye.